Good morning, it's Captain Brian Corian here with Boativation in this morning's edition of Get Boativated. Let's get this thing going. I want to talk about being all in when you're doing something. Be all in. I see different stages of life. We've all seen it, the scenario either on TV, if it hasn't happened to yourself, where I got one foot on the dock, one foot on the boat, and it starts to separate. I am not all in. I either got to be all the way on the dock, or I got to be all the way in the boat, or I'm going to be all the way in the water. So stay where you need to be and be all in whatever you're going to do. Take that big step, get out of the boat, stay on the dock. Whatever you're going to do, be all into what you're doing. I've been living in Florida for about 24 years, and I've seen a lot of people move to Florida in their younger years. I mean, Florida is kind of known to be the place to retire, the retirement playground, so to speak. But there's a lot of younger people that come down on vacation. They have a blast. I want to live here. This is what I want to do. And after they get off their vacation, they go back home. They pack up. They move to Florida. And all of a sudden, it's not exactly what it was like when they're on vacation, because now they have to go to work. Now they have to do what they want to do. And they're still thinking about how great home was, even though they're in this great new paradise location, trying to make a new life for themselves, trying to do something. But they're still thinking about how great home was, their friends that they miss, their house that they had, their parents are there, all the people they grew up with, they know all the restaurants. Now everything is completely new. And they're not all in Florida. I did this myself. I was the same way. I moved down here when I was 23, 24 years old and finished college. And I moved away 3 times, and I still came back. I still ended up back in Florida after moving down from Michigan initially. I never went back to Michigan, though. I did try new places, but I always ended up back in Florida. And it's where I got comfortable. Finally, I realized this is home. I want a vacation in the other places. I went to Vail, Colorado. I went to Arizona. I went on a few other different locations to try to get out, check things out, to do something different. And I came back to Florida, and I finally said, no, I'm going to be all in right here in Florida, make my living, and travel to the places I want to go to when I want to go on vacation. I loved Colorado, but I wasn't all in. There was always the grasses were greener somewhere else, and I ended up back in Florida. And I said, Colorado's very expensive to live, and I always had one foot not in Colorado. I wasn't full-footed saying I'm here full-time for life. And I see so many people move down from the Midwest or move down from whatever, and they just compare Florida to home, and it's not home. It's just different. But if you're going to live here and make it here, you've got to be all in. And I don't care if you're in a business or if you get anything you're going to do. I work with a lot of comics. They all have 2 to 3 other jobs trying to make a living, but they're not all into comedy. So if you're not all in, you're not going to make it. You might enjoy it, you might have fun, it might be a hobby, but you got to be all in to make it happen. I see real estate agents, and if you're not doing something full time, you're not all in. If you're working 2 other jobs to make that happen, to make ends meet, you're losing out on doing some other work, making some sales in real estate. And sure, if you want to call it a hobby, you want to call whatever you're doing part-time, that's fine. Make that happen, but just accept it that way. Don't call yourself a complete real estate agent if you're not doing it full-time. Don't call yourself a true comedian if you're not doing it full-time. And I know everything has stages in life, so you want to build it up, but it's up to you to be all into whatever you're going to do. And if you want to help finding how to be all in, I'm here for you. I can help you with that, help you get your guidance, get your plan, get your action. Take it so you can be all into whatever you want to do. I know this was kind of a little longer one for me today, but I want you to be ready to do what you want to do and be all in on it. And this is what I'm doing, the same thing. And it's a learning curve for all of us. Let's do it together and show that we can all do it and support each other and make that happen. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend. I want to get out there and touch other people's lives and help them to get to where they can be all in whatever they're doing. I'm Brian Corian. Let's get motivated. Let's make it happen.